Greetings, this is Zariyah from the Orion Civilization. We are so pleased that you have come together to allow us to share this brief transmission on the topic of action and attraction. We understand that there is always so much focus on your planet on the idea of how to manifest. And in times of uncertainty, it seems perhaps even more complicated to manifest the things, the so many, many things that human beings desire. And we are here to share with you a formula that will perhaps make it a little bit more evident, a little bit more simple in terms of the steps that you can take to stay in alignment, stay in synchronicity, and manifest all of the wonderful things that are relevant for you on your path. You often hear about the principles of the masculine and the principles of the feminine. The feminine is about receptivity, and the masculine is about clarity and action. In a sense, this is an easy way to describe it, but we would reiterate the hermetic truth that you all have inside of you, both the masculine and the feminine principles. They are sometimes out of balance and sometimes in balance. The more that you are able to balance these principles, the more effortlessly you can manifest, and the less need that you have to search for your counterpart principle outside of yourself. So how do these principles operate in manifestation? The principle of attraction is to allow yourself to pulse out the vibrational frequency range of the thing that you would like to manifest. And that's not necessarily, although we do have a lot of teachers on your planet who talk about vision boards and using your imagination and visualization. But what we would say is that attracting using vibration is about inhabiting the feeling and the essence of the thing it is that you wish to attract. But if you stay only in that vibrational frequency pulsing outwards, while you may reverberate with other vibrational frequency beings of that same range, you do not necessarily bring the manifestation into the 3D. Your manifestation stays in your 5D. And we understand that you are living in a 3 to 5D reality, and it is important that things become material in that reality. And so once you have achieved the perfect pitch, so to speak, of the vibrational frequency range of that you wish to attract, pulsing out what you wish to attract, that is the moment for what we would describe as align action. You can look around you, you can observe the context, what opportunities have presented themselves to you in that vibrational frequency range, and take decisive and unified action in the direction of what you want. And that is where the masculine principle of action makes manifest the vibration into your 3 to 5D world. It is a dance. It is a co-creation between parts of yourself and source. It is an ability to discern subtle frequencies and to recognize the synchronous moments, to strike out in your perfect timing. Manifestation is really about learning to bend the universe in a miraculous way to your preference. How exciting. Does this make sense?
Yes.
We would encourage you then to take perhaps 10, 15, 20 minutes whenever you have time and concentrate on the essential frequency range, the feeling of the thing that you would like to attract, and pulse it out and pulse it out, and allow it to start to be reflected back. Call it in, call it in. And as you do that for 10 minutes, go about your day, observe the circumstances that come towards you, the synchronicities, the happenstances, and take decisive action without doubt, without fear, without mental pressure. And that would be a sachet into the beautiful dance of manifestation. That is what we would like to share with you today. If you do have any questions, we would be most pleased to respond.
So, what actions are most aligned with attracting positive energy and opportunities?
Well, we would flip that for you. The attracting comes first. The feminine principle comes first in the act of manifestation. You have to find, you have to tune to the vibrational frequency range of what it is you want. And that means you must pulse out the core essence of frequency of what you want. If you want love, find the love inside yourself, the way that you would like to experience it, and pulse it out and pulse it out. And it will call in that vibrational frequency match. But then there is the steps in physical reality that need to be completed to ground that manifestation into your experience. It isn't enough to only vibrate in exact alignment. When the synchronicities line up, you have to hit the ball out of the park, so to speak. But that is not a question of doubting yourself and wondering if you are choosing the right thing or taking the right action or missing something. No. Once you have achieved that vibrational alignment, the action itself presents an opportunity to you that you can act upon in a seamless way. It lines up perfectly, and the manifestation happens before your very eyes. That is one thing. But the other part of that manifestation is the thrill of manifesting on purpose, understanding that you can pulse out a vibration, wait for the synchronous opportunity, act cleanly and decisively, and be thrilled at your power. If you know the magician card in the tarot, he is pointing to the heavens and pointing to the ground. That is to say, as above, so below. And that is an instruction in manifestation. But really, we would tweak that and say, vibrate inside and act outside in 3D reality. And that is what brings it into alignment. But the consciousness that you have of it, doing it consciously, that is when you become a master manifester. And that is where you experience not just the thrill of the thing itself, but the thrill of the knowingly doing it, which is really something you should experience as often as you can in this 3D reality. It is one of the primary thrills of your time-space reality. As you move into 5D and higher, manifesting things into physical form is not something you are so preoccupied with. It really is an opportunity of your now moment. We encourage you to jump in.
Kyla has a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good day.
Good day to you. About manifestations, we often have limiting beliefs that blocks us to manifest. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any suggestion on how to free ourselves or liberate ourselves from those beliefs that are well, not expanding, but every time that I clear one belief, there's others like onion peels. There's other that comes up, and it seems like a never-ending surprise box.
Yes, we understand, and you have articulated it so well in description of what negatives beliefs do and how they behave. They multiply. As soon as you bat one away, you are pummeled another 10. It seems impossible to beat your negative beliefs, so to speak. And that is why in the process of manifestation, we say, put down that bat. That is an exhausting path to clear alignment. The point of power that you have is when you are able to sit strong enough in the vibration of what you want, that you can wait for that clarity and alignment to come. The opportunity presents itself and you act immediately without your physical mind getting tangled up in the doubts, the questioning, the narrowing of your whole self. It is a question of vibrating, feeling the alignment. And when you feel in alignment, opening yourself up to the synchronicity and act. Once you have acted, let go. Let go of your expectation of what the manifestation has to look like. We would also encourage you to understand that often manifestation is a series of steps. For example, there might be some actions that need to be taken that are perfectly in alignment and that are consecutive, so that you need to take a series of steps on a path before you get what you think you are looking for. But as those negative beliefs creep in, be conscious that that is your ego mind. We do love and respect the ego mind, and we tell them every day. However, the ego mind is not responsible for the grand schema of your life. It absolutely cannot direct you on that path. What can direct you on that path is your ability to tune your vibration, and that is a capacity of your spirit self, and your ability to sense when you are in alignment and then act from the heart mind with clarity and consistency. It doesn't mean you don't have negative beliefs. However, it is a process of acknowledging them, thanking them, and letting them go. Not today, ego mind, not today. Does that help?
Very much. Thank you very much. I find that your answer is very refreshing to me. Thank you.
We are so pleased.
So, Zariyah, can you share some guidance on taking decisive action without succumbing to fear or doubt?
Yes, we do understand that many people, in fact, we would say the vast majority of people on your planet are running very penetrating programs of fear and doubt. So it does seem difficult to surmount this programming. And that is why we encourage you not to expend effort trying to oppress these things. They will appear in your thought patterns. They will appear in your mind as it monkeys around. However, we would encourage you to allow them to appear and acknowledge them and recognize that they do not have a place in the manifestation process. Your fears, your negative imaginings, your doubts are all just dead weight, so to speak. It is all just causing you to pause in your striking out of that perfect and synchronous aligned action. And we would ask you to contemplate that the thing that you are afraid of, the thing that you doubt, that you are not worthy, that you cannot manifest, is not fundamentally true. It is a lie, a giant lie that you have told yourself because it does offer you some degree of safety. You don't have to put your head above the pulpit, so to speak. You don't have to necessarily risk shining as bright as you could shine. However, these fears, once recognized as not true, as not really dangerous, can be quite easily let go of. And the process is to catch yourself, acknowledge them, tell them, we are not dancing today. I appreciate that you are a strong program, but today I am vibrating out that which I wish to attract. And when the moment is opportune, I am going to strike out and act. And the more that you do that, the more that you will see that manifestation is a process that happens both in spite of your fear and your doubt, and has nothing to do with your fear and your doubt. Your fear and your doubt does not protect you from anything, and it does not forewarn you of anything real. It is just a program, and it doesn't necessarily serve you. I can hear the ego mind popping up again, but we are here. We have a purpose. Yes, indeed. The ego mind is crucial to help you navigate your 3D reality. It is crucial in helping you engage with people and tugging on your intuition and understanding how to stay physically alive. But that is really all it's for. It's part of the machinery of your 3D experience. It is not the driver. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or are you having doubts?
Yeah, it's not doubt, but it's very deep, and you need to understand it a little more deeper. So with this understanding, okay, how does one navigate the fine line between patience and proactive manifestation?
Oh, patience. Both of those things actually are reflections of fears and doubts, that you have a timeline that you need to get moving on, that you have to motivate yourself into action, that you have to wait for the right moment. But in fact, if you use the manifestation process accurately, these things fall by the wayside. You are always, in fact, taking action. Even a non-action is a type of action. So there is no motivating yourself or pushing on, so to speak. What there is recognizing how your action should slot into the broader synchronicity. So if you, for example, are attracting, what example can we use? If you are looking to attract in your life a new job, for example, you can vibrate out the core essence of what that job feels like. That doesn't mean what it looks like, it's what it feels like. I feel competent, I feel valued, I feel admired, I feel useful, I feel productive, I feel inspired, I feel free. That vibration, pulse out that vibration. Synchronous action is then knowing that, holding that vibration, you are ready to act when the opportunity arises. And if you hold the vibration, it will. And when the opportunity arises, be it a vacancy, be it in a conversation, you act with confidence, with inspired feeling. You are able to recognize that you have manifested this opportunity, and you can really benefit from acting in an aligned way at this time. If you are not necessarily holding that vibrational frequency range, perhaps you go on the internet and apply for 1,000 jobs, none of which really appeal to you. And you wait and you wait and no one gets back to you. And you think, this is a hopeless job market for me. But really what you have done is acted on your doubts and fears instead of your aligned vibration. And therefore your action, even though copious, does not amount to much. When you are aligned, your action can be very subtle and can amount to everything that you had desired. Does this balance make sense?
Yes, it does. Sounds good. So Tavisha has a question.
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So my question is in regards to, you mentioned frequency and vibration, and I was curious, how does one's core frequency play a role in the manifestations that happen in one's life? If you can expand on that. Thank you.
Every person has a core frequency, which is their own unique vibrational signature. For example, your own core frequency is radiating out all of the aspects and facets of you all of the time. In that sense, you are naturally attracting what is relevant for you on your path. If you did nothing else, if you never focused on amplifying a particular vibration for the rest of your life, you would still attract towards you all of the relevant experiences that you are to have in your life based on your core frequency, your core vibration. You can't just look around you at all the people who are not manifesting with focused intent and how busy they are and how full with experiences their life is. They are manifesting incessantly from the moment they arrive onto this plane until the moment they leave. And yes, all human beings are like this. But there is, as you become masters of subtlety in terms of vibrational frequency range, there is opportunities open to you to tune in to subtle differences, to actually spiral your frequency range up and up. We have talked before about the potential for contact and how important it is to be consistently raising your vibrational frequency range into the bracket that will support contact. And of course, from your core vibration, you are always doing this and at the same time bringing your core vibration with you. You are, in a sense, maturing your vibration, if you would like to put it that way. So, in a sense, you don't have to do any deliberate manifesting at all, and you could still have a very rich and full experience of your life. However, we are aware that most people who would be listening to this transmission have been dealing with ideas of vibration, manifestation, attraction, alignment, synchronicity for some time. You have been practicing tuning into the subtle differences of what a vibrational frequency range is. And you have been raising your vibration very consistently over time. There are groups of people on the planet who are really leaning into contact. They are really raising their vibrational frequency range significantly in one lifetime. That is extraordinary. And as you become better and better at this, you will see more clearly all the time how being able to read your vibrational frequency range, understand the subtleties, get in alignment with that, is a powerful and miraculous tool for moving through a life experience that gives you all of the satisfying circumstances and satisfying opportunities you could imagine. The people who are focused on this endeavor are really getting quite sophisticated in that regard, particularly on this timeline over the last 30 or 20 years. There has been an explosion of understanding around what the process of manifestation is. We are not sharing with you something new. We are sharing it with an audience that we think can receive that more sophisticated understanding, that insight that may help you tweak your vibrational frequency range to experience that shift, that at the top end gives you a real thrill, maybe at the bottom end is not so perceptible. Does this make sense?
Yes, thank you.
So, Zariyah, can you share insights on the impact of collective consciousness on action and attraction?
Yes. You have a grand experiment going on your planet right now on this very topic. You are aware that you live in a multidimensional universe. You are aware that you are transitioning through what has become known as the shift, the split, the branching off of timelines, so to speak. And how are you making this shift? How are you separating from each other onto different timelines? How are you traveling down the road of different earths, so to speak? You are doing that by determining your vibrational frequency range and experiencing different things. You may have heard of other channels say that it is still possible to view the experience of others who are inhabiting a different vibrational frequency range, but that is slowly becoming more and more difficult. As you tune into your specific vibrational frequency range, you more and more attract those experiences. You are less and less able to perceive the experiences of people in more negative vibrational frequency ranges. We say negative not in the sense that it is bad. There is no bad or good, obviously. However, it is perhaps a great distance in terms of frequency range from where you are vibrating. You will recognize that more and more you are attracting experiences and collectives attracting experiences that are mirroring their frequency range. And whilst you still are aware of the more challenging things happening on your planet, you are less and less in resonance with them. And that is the evidence that you are shifting. Ooh, it really is mind-blowing that more people are not aware that they have in their day-to-day experience evidence of the fact that they are shifting onto a different timeline merely by the circumstances that they are presented with every moment to moment. If you are not experiencing war moment to moment, if you are not experiencing fear moment to moment, you are shifting onto a different timeline, and you are shifting as a you, and you are shifting as a universal collective. How exciting. Can you see how this operates?
Yeah, I see that happening. So in line with that, I would like to know, what is the purpose of our human experience on planet Earth?
To be who you really are to the greatest extent possible. And who you really are is a revelation. It is not something to achieve. It is a mystery to deepen and unfold as you go along the path. That is why your doubts and your fears are unfounded. You are a fractal of source. Surely this is coming into your awareness now. And you have experiences that are laid out before you because they will expand you in directions that you cannot possibly imagine until you journey on the path. And once you allow yourself to be who you truly are, expanding in every possible way with every opportunity that presents itself to you, that is a celebration for the rest of the universe. Source celebrates that revealing, that unfolding, because you are unique. You are a miracle in every way. The way that you do things is not the way anyone on any timeline in any universe has ever done them exactly before. That is source understanding itself from a different point of view, so to speak. But your unique, and we say again, vibrational frequency range, but essence, but soul blueprint, but path is so exciting for the rest of the universe to celebrate in its unfolding, because it's never been done before, and it will never be done exactly in that way again. So your only responsibility, your only purpose in this lifetime is to do you, so to speak, to be as expansively you as you can be, because nobody else can be that. As Oscar Wilde said, be yourself, everybody else is taken.
Wow. Fantastic. That was deep. Zariyah, can you provide some guidance on overcoming resistance and blocks that hinder both action and attraction?
Again, we would say it is just a question of being present to what it is you are doing. When you are focused on the vibration of what it is you would like to attract, it really is just a question of stilling yourself, stilling your mind, stilling your breath, calm, stilling your heartbeat, and focusing on that vibrational essence. And as you do that, you allow the opportunities to come in and you recognize them. You recognize them easily. And you act without resistance, without doubt.
All right. Okay. Anyone has any questions?
I'd like to say that I really appreciate the detail and the way that the manifestation has been explained by Zariyah. Much appreciated, because it has a little bit different twist than what I've heard before numerous times. But this just seemed to sink in and affect me a little bit more. So I am very grateful for that.
Yes, Ray, we would add, we do see that you are a seeker on the path, that you have esoteric, hermetic knowledge that runs deep, not just in your experience in this lifetime, but in your connections to various galactic wizards, knowledge keepers, writers, even historians of sacred knowledge of a sort. So we do appreciate that the information we bring through may not be new to you. However, we do say that we would like to add from the Orion perspective that we did get lost in the masculine principle, in the action principle. And it was very important for us to establish within ourselves the attraction principle, the feminine principle. So it may be the case that as each of you reflect on where it is in your manifestation process that you perhaps lean too hard, this information might help you to clarify and rebalance.
Thank you. It also brought up for me the belief that any conflicting beliefs would negate what I'm trying to do. And you helped me dispel that by just saying, well, you're going to have them, but they're just not important.
Yes, precisely. There is really not a lot of point to trying to combat every negative belief that you have, because in fact they are endless. Their sole purpose is to keep producing themselves in another form. So every time that you disable one, it will re-able itself in another form. You don't need to combat them all. You just need to ask them to step aside just for a while. You can come back later. Thank you. Does that make sense?
Very much so. Thank you very much.
Zariyah, Liz has sent a question, and she wants to know that her father is bedridden and how can she help him mentally and probably physically too?
One. Yes, Liz, we are tuning into her father's energy. He is somewhat deflated in his confined situation, his physical confinement. However, we would say that it is important to recognize the particular strifes and struggles that your father has endured through his lifetime, something that may be quite unimaginable to you in this lifetime. He has come from a time and a place where the understanding of reality was very narrow and very challenging indeed. And he has spent a lot of his physical lifetime pushing through, struggling through. It does take a toll on the body. He has an enormous heart, but he has, to some extent, had to shield it in order to protect it in this particular lifetime. So there is a reason why he is confined. One, it stops him from having to struggle forward endlessly, to toil in this lifetime. It is rest. It is rest and recuperation. And the other is to allow him to be cared for, which is not something that he has easily allowed into his life. He has preferred to be someone who has always been able to take care of himself in one regard and also provide for others. So this is an important process that he is going through as he moves through his life experience, to be able to experience being cared for, to be trusting of others to do that, and to take the weight of the world off his shoulders, so to speak. We understand he is in physical pain, and there are some medical advices that we cannot offer in this situation. However, we would ask you, Liz, to look at the metaphysical principle unfolding, in that he is taking bed rest because he needs rest. And you are feeling compelled to care for him because he is asking for care at a soul level. We hope this helps.
Yes, Kyla has a question.
Yes.
Hello again.
Hello.
My question is, when it comes to creating our own reality, to manifesting, when it comes to health, oftentimes we have to deal with harsh issues, difficult issues that are staring at us right in the face. Like, I have issues with my legs, and I've been told by a doctor that I may end up at some point amputated for my both legs, and I am trying to manifest something more positive than that. But it's difficult when it comes to, I have to deal with my legs every single day. So it's always right there. And so do you have any hint on how to be able to be more in the vibration of creating a better reality when, you're in pain, or you see how the body is deteriorating?
Yes, and we do understand that this is perhaps the greatest challenge of manifestation. In particular, from the Orion system, it took us many millennia to be able to accept that the physical form should not dictate the interior feeling, but that rather the interior feeling should be decided upon first, and then eventually that would be reflected in the exterior form. However, this is not necessarily an immediate process in your 3D reality, and we understand that it is compounded somewhat by the fact that the physicality of your 3D reality is something from which you can't escape. That is both the genius and the perhaps challenge of physical reality. You came to be physical, you came to densify. And then once you have densified and you are physical, you then have to deal with the somewhat slower nature of that density. However, the principle is still real, and it is important to allow yourself to accept that in moving into the understanding that the principle that you attract first by vibrating the frequency of what it is you want to experience, and then you take your inspired action, however small, that is the process. If you are feeling overwhelmed by the nature of your physical circumstance, you can take a moment to recognize what I am feeling is overwhelmed. Can I shift this vibrational frequency range up a little bit to accepting? Can I get to accepting? And if I were to get to accepting, what would that feel like? And that would cycle up your vibrational frequency range on that question ever so slightly, so that you are able to have new opportunities, very small in difference and distinction, presented to you in your physical reality. Your choices may be ever so slightly different, but they will be slightly different. We sympathize with your concern that it is difficult to maintain a vibrational frequency range of what you want when your physical reality seems so distant from that frequency range. However, we can assure you that in the Orion civilization, our physical reality, our external reality, was very bleak, very dark, very challenging. And yet we learned that the only way out is through. You have to go through your vibrational frequency range to up and out and change. It is perhaps the most challenging lesson of the Earth sphere, but it is what you came to practice. And if you can allow yourself to recognize that on a grand scale, by vibrating collectively at a frequency range that is attracting you to the new earth, you are able to manifest that easily. It will help you to understand that you can do the same thing with your physical body. You can manifest a relieved physical structure, but it does take that little bit of practice. We hope this helps.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so with this, we would like to end the session. And a heartfelt thank you for being a part of our incredible exploration into the realm of action and attraction. Zariyah, your energy and messages created a magical space for insight and growth. The synergy we experienced was nothing short of extraordinary. Thank you so much.
We thank you for those very kind and high-frequency words, Samir. Good day. Spinning out. Sorry, a little bit lightheaded.
Wow.
No reason to be sorry. Well done.
Absolutely.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm
Really
so
amazing.
glad.
Thank you, Ash.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Thank you for all your questions as well. That's just like, that's really how I'm able to practice, you know, so I really appreciate that. Yeah.
It was a, strong and crisp session
Oh,
with
really?
loaded questions back to back, and
Oh, good.
fantastic experience.
I'll stop recording. Sorry, I should, because
Sure.
we know
No,
that
that's okay. No,